Sterling K. Brown, star of the Talks About show on television, Paradise. Now, in Paradise, you played a Secret Service agent. Yeah. Secret Service agent.
Me to have the flex. Like a rat eating its babies to survive.
To the east, and so as we get into the 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock time frame during the afternoon and early evening, that's where you run the risk of being found under a thunder shower or two. I don't expect anything severe, but once again, don't leave your house without your umbrella. As we go through the overnight hours, this front moves out and it gives way to a cold front or a high pressure system, and that high pressure system over the Appalachians is going to keep us dry. The question is how long? We'll take a look at that one of the forecasts in just a few. Now I'll check on the roads.
All right, Jonathan, thanks so much. Checking Skyfox traffic for you. Continuing to follow a crash on 85 in Gwinnett County. One southbound lane remains blocked at Steve Reynolds Boulevard. Police are there at the scene, causing heavy delays, though, that are stretched back closer to Sugarloaf Parkway, Satellite Boulevard, or Buford Highway are good alternates. Meanwhile, typical delays growing here on the East Expressway. It's now a 16-minute drive time from Highway 138 to 285. Breaking news out of DeKalb County this Tuesday, where a man was killed in an overnight stabbing on La Vista Road, and the victim ended up at a gas station. Police though think he was attacked across the street.
Yeah, good days. Mark Tigner is live in DeKalb County. He joins us now with the latest. Mark,
kind of weird.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Police have wrapped up out here, at least this part of the investigation. They haven't given us a whole lot of details about what happened, but we did talk with a woman, and she says it was her coworker that during the overnight hours discovered this man. He was repeatedly stabbed, she said, and lying near one of the pumps at the Chevron gas station here on La Vista. That woman ended up calling 911. Now, the woman that we talked with, her coworker, says that the officers, the detectives out here at the scene actually confirmed that the man had been stabbed across the street.
Oh man, a homeless dude got stabbed.
Where we're standing right now.
I know exactly where that is.
Near the front
I used to live right across the street from that place. That's a nice area.
To trying to get help before collapsing there at the gas station. As we said, we did talk with this woman about what it was like.
That's a really nice area.
Discovered this man, and here's what she had to say.
She seen his shirt and it had a bunch of stab marks in it, but she said she knew something was wrong because she said his chest was not compressing up and down. So she said she called 911, and she said when they did come, they did say that he had passed away.
Wow.
At this point, the names of
I know exactly what it is.
has not yet been released. Police did tell Ms. Frazier, who you just heard there, that they were going to come back later today.
That's a nice area.
Get their hands on surveillance video from all the businesses here to see if they could piece together exactly what happened. We're going to have more in the story for you coming up at 7, but for now, that's the latest from here in DeKalb County. I'm Mark Teichner for Good Day Atlanta.
Very troubling, Mark. Thanks so much. Staying in DeKalb County, I should say, the person who opened fire on I-20, sending 2 women to the hospital,
Somebody
still
opened
on the
fire
list
on
this
I-20?
morning. Authorities say the violence happened near the off-ramp to Glenwood Road yesterday evening in the middle of rush hour traffic.
I'm not surprised.
2 women in their 20s were
Glenwood is
rushed
a
to a
rough part
nearby
of town.
hospital, said to be in critical condition.
It's Decatur.
So far, authorities have not
Some of
said
Decatur's
what
nice.
led up to that gunfire.
Other parts of
And
Decatur.
a scary case of road rage in a Metro Atlanta subdivision.
Not so
to talk
nice.
about.
Yeah, a couple says they were driving through the Legacy Park subdivision. That's in Kennesaw. This was Friday night when they noticed another vehicle that was tailgating them. Police say that the suspect
road rage?
yelled at them
Kennesaw?
and eventually pulled out a knife.
Kennesaw.
All because
My
he
daughter's
believed
in
they were
Kennesaw.
going too slow. Police say the couple did the right thing by not engaging with the other driver.
The victim was smart and stayed in
I know where that is.
the windows and locked the doors. In most of life, the cooler
It's around the corner from Kennesaw, KSU.
The couple took a photo of the man's driver's license plate, and which led police to arrest 55-year-old Giancarlo Russo. He is being charged with aggravated assault.
I know what
Meanwhile,
that is.
we're learning new details about a mass shooting in Troup County. Police say a Georgia State student is now dead, and 6 others are injured after a shooting at a house party. This happened just after 1 o'clock Sunday morning on Seminary Street. That's in LaGrange. Police say Javion Dukes was shot and died a short time later. Dukes was a junior at Georgia State University and a Dean's List student. His cousin says he was devoted to his studies and to his family.
He lined up the day. He smiled. He never had bad vibes. He went to work. He did his schoolwork. He came home to take care of his younger siblings, help his mom and dad.
We're told one other person is fighting to stay alive. Police are now looking for the shooter and asking anyone with information to come forward.
Protesters and law enforcement facing off late into the night yesterday across the city of Los Angeles. Today marking day 5 of riots that have compelled President Donald Trump to authorize an additional 2,000 National Guard troops, along with 700 Marines. These protests have now spread to other major cities like New York, Chicago, even here in Atlanta. Another one is planned.
There's protests in Atlanta?
Highway.
This country's losing it.
Us the latest on what is expected later this morning. Hey, Brooke.
This reminds me of the 60s.
Yeah, good morning, Caitlin. And those protesters
wasn't alive then.
me at the field office, the ICE field office in downtown Atlanta, protesting all of these ICE raids and also standing in solidarity with what's going on in California right now.
I was like
those
3
protesters
when
also
the riots
asking
happened.
for the release of a union
There were
leader
riots in
California
Jersey,
who was arrested as a
riots
result
in
of these
Chicago,
protests. But similar rallies
riots in
have been
Miami,
playing out across the country.
riots
Monday's rally
in
here
California.
remained peaceful. Many of the protesters told us they felt it was important that they
riots
show
all over
up.
the place.
I don't know if I'll make
I
a
remember.
difference in the end, but
The riots happened in the 60s, but I was like 3.
And there is another protest planned here in Atlanta. That one is happening at 6:30
I remember,
tonight.
like, I have vague memories
President
of
Trump has also come out and
my
spoke
mom
out about
taking me
this.
to nursery
He says that he
school.
plans to send the National Guard
And
to
I remember
any
seeing
state where
National
they're
Guards
needed in response if these protests do get out of hand. So it's certainly something we'll be watching here later
Back
tonight.
then
as
they
that
had like
one unfolds on
camouflage, and they had
Newport Highway.
helmets.
But for now, that is the latest here live
And they
in
had
downtown
M16s.
Atlanta. I'm Brooke Zonner
They were
for Good Day
patrolling the
Atlanta.
streets. I remember
Setting
that.
the stage for us. Thanks so much, Brooke.
I was 3 years old.
6:38 on your clock. Now ahead today, we should have a brief break from recent storms, but it won't last very long. Jonathan returning with the timing on when you can expect
Hiya, how's it going?
stormy pattern.
You've been listening to Fox 5 Live on the Fox 5 Radio 1 network. Just tune your HD radio to 107.9 HD2
Wow.
FM.
I like this seat. It's nice and
Move your car
it's got a spring on it.
without moving at all.
Doesn't hurt your butt. I had to
How it
replace the
should
seat.
be. The Hyundai Tucson. Lease a Hyundai Tucson for $259 a month, or get 3.99% APR, or $1,750 bonus cash. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
I was involved in a motor vehicle accident. My car rolled over and flipped 3 times.
I gotta take
had
it easy.
fractured my spinal
My car
cord.
rolled over
The
and flipped 3
reason I
times.
contacted
Holy
Morgan & Morgan was I wanted to fight for myself. They want to make sure that you and your family are well
Is she in a
taken care of.
wheelchair now?
I'm very
Wow, that
happy with what I
sucks.
received.
Hi, Jessica.
I've heard that you can come the same day I call you.
Give us an address and we're on our way.
But how?
1-800-GOT-JUNK is the world's largest junk removal service.
I want you to come today.
We're on our way.
Onboard Wi-Fi that goes wherever you go. How it should be. The Hyundai Elantra. Lease a Hyundai Elantra for $199 a month, or get 3.99% APR, or $1,250 bonus cash. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
And welcome back to Good Day Atlanta on this Tuesday morning. Most of us are rain-free this morning. There is some moisture that moved across our area last night. It's now along the coast, the Atlantic coast, and the Gulf coast.
Most
But
rainy
for us,
season.
it's like dry air is trying to creep in, but there's some action over in Alabama that I have my eyes on. We're at 71 degrees here in Atlanta. Thick clouds as you move out to the east and to the south. A sort of sprinkle down there in Lake Country along with Jasper and Putnam counties, but you have sunshine that's trying to move in and really disrupt that fog that's taking over northwest Georgia this morning. We'll be on the lookout for a couple showers to cross I-59, moving eastward over the Alabama-Georgia state line. They could give you an early mid-morning shower, but
Yesterday,
at this point, all is clear and calm.
I was talking about
muggy. Dew points are high in the 60s, upper 60s, and
people
lower
not
70s
being
down to
able
the
to
south. Up there in Blairsville,
talk to
you
other
have a dew
people.
point around 60 degrees. That's not exactly comfortable,
2
but
mornings
it's a
ago.
foretell of what is to come. Because the dew points, they're
talking about a guy who's like,
in other words,
"Hey,
the
look,
high
cool, hot
humidity
babes."
is about to be the low humidity. In the country range,
I was like, at first I was like, what?
24 to 36 hours.
What do you mean?
The dropping of the dew points will send the numbers down
so I'm
between
explaining all this
50
stuff.
and 60 degrees,
And I was like, dude,
which is bearable, very very
Read a book.
comfortable, if you will.
Be an interesting person.
But it does not last for long.
Whatever.
Summer steam is back in full force as we get into Thursday, Friday, and
I said go outside.
So
people,
for today, we'll look for a high temperature of 85 degrees here in Atlanta, 85 for LaGrange,
and
83 in Cornelia. Blairsville this afternoon.
My wife,
81 degrees for you all going out to eat.
Therapist.
We'll look for a high posted around 85
and she
degrees.
Goes,
tonight we'll drop down.
I have a client that has the same question.
Mid-60s. It should be.
She said, I don't know what's going on with this generation, but they don't know how to talk to me.
Down, and it will.
She said, she said everything you said, and she didn't tell me who the person was.
Early morning hours.
You know, she can't she can't do that.
The mercury's going to climb, and it's going to climb
HIPAA, client, whatever, therapist, client, relationship, HIPAA, she can't.
We don't have
but she could be vague.
That's going to be a true 88 degrees. We're not looking for a 92, 93.
And she was like, this person
and that's going to be
didn't know how to talk to me.
The rain and storm chances will
return. This person does not know how to talk to me.
Into the latter part of the work week, and they stick around right on for the dads. That's a check on the weather.
I told the guy, I was like, look, like when I was on street, I said, bro, read some books.
Keeping an eye on a crash on 85 in Gwinnett County. This is happening right now, southbound at Steve Reynolds
people like to talk about themselves.
Police and a wrecker are now on the scene, so this should be cleared up shortly.
I said, I'm not going to give you a line to say.
To use caution.
Like
it's about a 27-minute trip time from 316 to Spaghetti Junction.
They don't.
Satellite Boulevard or
they do not
Highway
work.
Are still good alternates this
They just
morning.
don't. They don't work.
Seems like the number 7 is the magic number
like,
for the Braves.
I look
they
at
marked their first win in 7
growth of like the whole red pill community.
By the second baseman that
guys like Fresh and Fit and all those guys.
Once again.
Mind you, they're giving you dating advice. Mind you.
There's a reason professional leaders don't get invited to backyard barbecues.
Cookies.
I wish I could be like that.
He just got a girlfriend.
Not the hot dog.
Never had a girlfriend.
Just like
never
there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm.
Never had a girlfriend.
Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
What's up, buddy?
You know.
That's my hot dog.
Unless it's like for a religious
America's
belief,
largest injury law firm.
then
Why they much on Popeye's Plus?
like what is going on, bro?
Busy out on all these news.
You know, because I can understand for religious beliefs, you know, certain religions you date to marry. You know,
Love that chicken from
you date with the intention of marriage. So you really don't date much. But if it's not for, and he's not a religious person, you know, but he's supposed to be this guy who can pick up women, and it's like, they know he has money. They see him coming a mile away. Women see him coming a mile away. They know he has money. They know of his podcast. So they're like, oh, you know,
Family history.
He's a money bag coming a mile away.
Why?
They see him coming a mile away. Money bag. He's a big bag of money. Drives a nice car, all this stuff.
Story. Emory's expert
Personally,
pioneers the most innovative
never needed money.
treatments to set the standard.
I've never needed a nice car.
More options and
I've never needed nice clothes. I've never needed a pickup line. I've never needed any of the things these red pill guys say you need.
Heart and Vascular.
Never.
This is what
ever.
Bill calls home.
Never, ever,
This is
ever.
what Janice calls office.
What got
but
me
sometimes it's the guest room. California
is
Closets
my
design this
conversation.
space with purpose.
I'm an interesting
This is
person.
Janice's home office.
I'm well read.
And the guest room. Schedule
I've been
your
around.
design
Like
consultation now.
I would take road trips to different places. I was saying it's just, I would take road trips
Contact Ruder Pro Plumbing
and
GA
drive,
for plumbing solutions to keep
you
your
know,
home running smoothly.
to
Our
Chicago.
expert team will respond
To drive to
24/7,
Miami.
delivering fast and
To drive to
affordable service
Orlando,
in the
go to
greater
Disney
Atlanta
World.
area. Ruder Pro
You know,
Plumbing offers
or,
no credit check financing and
you know,
no weekend upcharge.
drive to
Quality
Virginia
expert
Beach.
plumbing service anytime.
You know,
Visit
or drive to Atlanta.
RuderProPlumbingGA.com.
That's when I was living in Jersey.
The only Ruder to trust is Ruder Pro
You know.
Plumbing.
I would go out and, you know,
Visit
the social gathering. And me,
Lunch to help feed
I'm a painfully shy person. You know, I was fortunate in that I was able to travel when I was younger. I've been to a lot of places. Plus, I was just very well read. I've read a lot of stuff.
Accused of starving his 4-year-old daughter to death.
Oh, wow.
Treasure McWay died in December of 2023, 6 months after the state removed her and her 2 brothers from their father's duplex unit.
But Rodney McWay is accused of kidnapping the children from their mother and then inflicting unthinkable abuse. Jury selection for his trial got underway yesterday after he turned down a plea deal. The prosecutors offered him 75 years to serve, but he's decided to take his chances with a jury.
And it's a harrowing case that Fox 5 IT reporter
he decided to take his chances with a trial. He's going to get life. He's going to spend all that money. They're going to take him to trial. Oh, you're guilty. They are going to give him like 60 years.
And cruelty to children. McWay is 32 years old and faces 4 life sentences, plus 12 years. Treasure died a few weeks before Christmas in 2023.
I'm trying to get an ambulance over here for a baby that's not breathing.
But arrest affidavits described Treasure and her brothers living in a house of horrors before she died. In a mold-infested duplex unit, McWay allegedly kept them separated and locked in their rooms, with cameras aimed at their beds and no access to food, water, or bathrooms. The affidavits say Treasure's autopsy found her extremely malnourished, weighing just 24 pounds.
You're good. What's up? But what happened is,
Our investigation found that between the kidnapping and Treasure's death, the State Division of Family and Children's Services repeatedly sought police help in locating the children.
You won't have to worry
in the
about.
Atlanta Police Department barely worked together.
You won't have to worry about.
Kept him at bay just by not answering his front door. We obtained body cam video showing officers called to the house doing the bare minimum to get past the front door.
Become an
Even
interesting
if say
person.
we knock on the door and
It's
the
called
kids
personal
aren't in there,
development.
there's nothing at all we can do.
5 low-ranking personnel received light discipline. And after our reporting,
personal
APD announced changes in how it handles defects
learn how
calls.
to.
Officers now reportedly work better
You
than
can't,
defects
and
social
again, I'm
workers,
painfully
responding
shy.
to calls much faster.
So I purposely
You
would
have
put
my
myself in
commitment, Counselor, to
situations.
keep enhancing this
in social
so no
situations.
child is ever caught in the bureaucracy
I would go to
or
parties
those unique
by myself.
gaps that may be created by
Like, I'm not going to crash a party, but if it's a party, I'm not going to go with,
McQuay's trial is
after a while I would go with my boys,
and we're
but
sure to keep you updated.
I would
Georgia's
go.
Republican Party says Georgia
I would go by myself.
Raffensperger should not be able to run under the party's banner any longer. During a state GOP convention Saturday,
I would go to the
delegates
movies by
voted to
myself.
adopt a series of resolutions.
I would hang out in the park by
one
myself.
attempting to block him from
I would,
qualifying as a Republican in future elections.
I'd go to a
The
pickup
two-term
basketball
Secretary
game.
of State
If I
says
see
he's now
dudes playing
considering
basketball,
running for governor or
yo,
U.S.
let me get on the
Senate
team.
in 2026.
All right.
6:48 your time
Run a couple-
today. Your
run a couple
Atlanta Braves
games.
are still on the road in Milwaukee for their second of a 3-game
Ingratiate
series with the
yourself with
Brewers,
people.
but they wake up
So
this
then,
morning on a 1-game
the next
win
time you
streak,
go there,
snapping that pesky 7-game
hey,
skid
yo,
last
Mark.
night. The Braves bats were
Yo, you
in
want
full
on our
effect
team.
with several players.
They just kinda like,
Ronald
okay, now
Acuna
you got
Jr.
some
hitting
new
home
hangout
runs in
partners.
this one, and Chris
You know,
Sanders had himself a night as well on the mound.
I would go to
7
open
innings
jam
of work,
sessions.
1 run he gave up.
You know,
11 strikeouts.
it's a great way to
The
meet
Braves win at
people.
7-1, and
If you're a
the Braves
musician, I'm a
Brewers
musician.
will go at it
I'll
again.
go to open jam sessions by myself.
Another amazing feat, second baseman Ozzie
and my
Albies
thing was,
reached a major milestone.
I always
getting
wanted to
his
be
1,000th career hit.
one of the
Was
best,
single to
if
left
not the
field
best.
in
I
the eighth
wanted
inning,
people's
was hit
reaction to be
number
like, who
1K.
is that guy?
He's the first second baseman in
Who's
franchise
he?
history to reach that milestone. He's
So
the
I
second
would practice,
current
practice,
Braves player to
practice,
reach that
practice.
feat. Matt Olson, who
And
got
then I
his
go to open
1,000th
jam
hit back
sessions.
in April. The key difference, though,
People be
is
like,
that
holy
Albies
smoke.
has gotten all of his
How come I've never met you before? Blah, 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 blah.
over at Mercedes-Benz
Yo,
Stadium,
man, here's my number, man.
ever FIFA Club
What's your
World
number?
Cup are in full swing.
I might need a
Matches
drummer.
begin next week.
Or,
To get ready, crews
you know,
are
stuff
turning
like that.
the
If you're
artificial
there,
turf field into a pitch of real
you don't gotta
grass
say
that's been
nothing.
working nearly around the clock.
Women will
installing
want
a
to talk.
hybrid turf, which is mostly natural with some artificial carpeting.
women always want to talk to
So the pitch advisor
the
for
best
Mercedes-Benz Stadium
musicians.
says this particular
You know?
grass has been growing between 12
So,
to 18 months.
you know,
and
women
was
in the
trucked
crowd.
in from a sod
So I wouldn't have
farm
to
in
talk to them. They
Colorado.
would talk to me.
Pretty specialized, right?
You know,
NBS is the only
I learned how to
indoor
dance.
venue of the 12 selected around the
I would go to
US for the
clubs by
FIFA
myself
World Cup.
and just start
I can
dancing.
tell you this, my grass is
You know,
plenty
and
of
if you're a
water
really good
over the last
dancer,
several days, Jonathan.
you know, I was so-so. It was all right. I had some moves. You know, but
we are starting out
you're a
with
good dancer.
mostly dry conditions.
All the women
That's
that
good
can
for
dance really
those
good,
of you who want want to get out.
They're gonna dance up to you and be like, "Oh man, this guy's fun to dance with." And he's like,
to the south and
you know,
to the
because he can dance pretty good.
as we get into the
You know what I
early
mean?
afternoon, going through the late afternoon and early evening hours. Tomorrow,
if that's not your thing,
will be warm for
you
sure.
know, I don't know. Take
but it
up
will
salsa
look
dancing.
and feel great
Salsa dancing
outside.
is a good way
This
to
really
meet
aren't in the
people.
forecast, but they
You
come
know,
roaring back as we get into the latter part of the week, and so does the humidity.
go to a museum.
Right now, we have temperatures on either side
You
of
know?
70 degrees, 71 here in Atlanta.
That's all I did after a while. All I did was go to, I would go to the museum. I'll go to Bronx Zoo. This is all in New York. I go to the Hayden Planetarium.
Of our temporary relief,
you know,
that we may not feel or see this
eventually,
but definitely by this time.
I met like a lot of people. I had a lot of friends. Now this is a guy who, and I had a lot of different, I had a lot of friends. It was so wild.
As we go through the overnight hours, high pressure.
I remember me,
by up to our north.
my homeboy
on
Kikon.
the spine of the Appalachians, and
He's
that is
Dominican.
going to get
That's why
us
it's
to
Kikon.
at least one dry day. Thursday will be pretty
We would,
dry to start.
we would go, one time we were in
Thursday
Spanish
afternoon,
Harlem.
pressure's moved off
And
coast, and it's opened the door for
we hopped on the
Gulf
PATH
Coast to move back
train.
in,
People on
and
the
that
PATH train
will
knew
drive
me. Mark, what up, man?
Texas back up.
Hey, what's
So
going
here's
on?
a look at the
And then
forecast
we're walking
in
down the
terms
street.
of
Mark, what up,
just
man?
over the next 72
Hey, what's up,
hours.
man?
You can
And
see
then
here
people,
categories. I
like from
that.
far away,
By
Mark, what's
Thursday,
up?
they start
After a
to
while,
get
my
into
boy
the
Kikon
widely
was like, bro, you
scattered
know
surface
everybody.
scattering
Who don't you know?
as we get into the latter part of the work week,
But
going into the bottom
the reason
half
why
of
is
the weekend.
because
So here's a look at your Fox 5 storage
I put myself in different social circles
85 degrees today, while
to meet a bunch of people because I wanted to get out of this whole shyness.
Despite it being
even this right now, I'm doing this
on the forecast. It
to
will
get
not
used
be a
to
sweltering hot day
talking
because
to
the
people,
humidity
just
will
talking to people
drop
who
as a result
ain't
of the
necessarily
thermal
gonna,
passage.
you know,
But by
be like,
Thursday, the heat and
you
the
know,
humidity come back.
they're not going to be conversing with
storms. That's a check on the
you know.
road. Now check on the roads.
Thank you so much. We are taking a look at crash in Gwinnett County on 85 southbound at Steve Reynolds Boulevard. They were holding all of those lanes to clear this crash, and they have just reopened them. So that HOV lane is the only thing that's blocked, but expect delays coming in from Duluth Highway. Satellite Boulevard or Buford Highway will be some good alternates if you still just want to avoid those lingering delays. The West Expressway, that volume is picking up right near Lee Road, 19 minutes from Fairburn over to the perimeter. And out of the south side, 75 northbound, a little bit of a slowdown starting at Terra Boulevard, 12 minutes from 675 to 285.
I pride myself.
It is
Read a lot.
Up next, giving
A lot of
back
self-development.
to pay it forward. Howard Georgia
A lot of
Team's
reading.
donation will bring healing.
A lot of going to places by myself.
Hospital by using the
You know, like I think I started this earlier. I would go to the mall
$500 gift card this week.
and
Today's
read a book.
word is blueberry. You can
Just sit at the table, order some coffee or something.
By scanning the
You
QR
know,
code
order
on
some
your
tea
screen.
and read a book by myself
/contest.
at a table.
Blueberry is your word.
People walking by, whatever. Didn't matter. No headphones, no earbuds. Just go there to read a book. Because if you have on headphones, it tells people you don't want to be bothered. And that's what you don't want. You're reading a book.
Zero sale at
You know, people are most like, hey, I'll go to food court
installation costs,
where everybody
down, zero payments with no interest for up to a year.
and order like some fries and just sit down, or order a coffee and sit down, whatever. Order a soda,
or worse, unsafe.
you know,
but you don't want a
like a Coke or something.
The weeks without a bathroom.
Sipping on that.
Budget. Don't turn your
Reading.
bathroom into a construction site.
People are gonna, you know, you're sitting around.
Unlike other contractors,
You look up, I guarantee you somebody's gonna be looking at you.
Atlanta team can completely
You know, you
transform
make eye
your shower
contact.
in just one day.
You know, hey.
Jacuzzi has been making water feel great for more than 70 years. And Jacuzzi Bathroom Model of Atlanta is the only company authorized to give you the genuine jacuzzi experience. From first call to install, with a lifetime warranty backed by a brand you can trust.
I don't know, man.
And the best part, you can
You know,
have
but
it
my
all
wife, I feel like
installed in
it's
one
weird
day.
me saying this. But my wife was like, I don't know what it is with this generation.
It's incredible that they
She's
were
got a
able to
client
do
right
this
now
in
that's
one
going
day.
through
They were outstanding.
You know, like,
how did they do that? in
how do I
one
talk to
day?
people? I'm lonely. I don't know how to talk to people.
Personalized design experience
I said,
that makes it
it's-
easy to create the
It's
bath
this
you always
generation
want.
of
You can choose soft close doors, adjustable shower heads,
online,
and great storage
you know,
options. And if
perpetually
you're concerned
online
with safety in the bathroom,
and
take
not
comfort
developing
with
social
grab bars and custom
That's
seats.
what it
And
is.
you can finally stop worrying about
You know,
that dangerous step over with our easy entry showers and
You know,
slip-resistant
so,
floors. Plus, clean up some
you know,
breeze
and
with
I
no
like-
grout and no more scrubbing.
I'm not
Just
the-
rinse and clean. And
Oh, this
everything is
generation
genuine jacuzzi quality from
I'm very
end
much
to
a
end.
Don't miss out. The Jacuzzi
always
Mountain
listen to
model
the
of
next
Atlanta's
generation.
000 sale won't last
Because they can
forever.
tell you,
Call now and get zero installation
you know,
costs.
they
zero
have
money
their own
down,
way of
zero
doing
payments
things.
with no interest for up to
It's
a
more
year.
than likely-
Go to jacuzzibathroom.com.
It's more efficient
800-991-7247.
because it's based off of the mistakes you've made.
That's 800-991-7247. Call now.
So, you know, I'm not like, I'm very much I like to listen to, you know, I like to listen to what, like I like new stuff. I listen to new music. I listen to, like, my wife likes some new music. I like, and she's younger than me, which is crazy. I like the new stuff. She likes the old stuff. I can't live in the past. That's for me, as a musician, it's kind of like living in the past. I like what's new, you know? But,
An 11-year-old
You
from
know.
Billerica who's built his way to
And I'm
become
always
the
a
2025
proponent
mini
of
master model builder for Atlanta is now
listening
preparing for the
to the next
global
generation and
Here
learning.
we go. Earlier this
You know,
year,
but I
Bobby
will say
beat
this,
dozens of other contestants with
one
his
of their
one-of-a-kind
drawbacks is they're perpetually
Dinobot
online.
Transformer. For that,
You know, the
he will
constant,
compete against builders
you know,
worldwide.
The constant theme is they don't know how to
And before then, you
talk to
you
people. And one of my fears is that social media
for World
is
Play Day. It's
dividing
going to be
me.
on display until June 30th
You
at the
know.
Lego Discovery Center located in Phipps Plaza.
I know where that
So
is.
fun. Well, this next story is one of giving back to Pay It Forward. An
That's
Augusta
at
area
Phipps
team
Plaza.
who found healing at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta recently made a
yeah, I
very
used to go to
special
Phipps Plaza all
donation
the
that'll
time by
bring that
myself.
same sense of hope
You know.
to young patients
Go
currently
to
in
Lennox
treatment.
Mall by
Yeah, meet
myself.
16-year-old Taylor Brown. She went through some difficult days after being diagnosed with a rare blood disorder,
car.
but she found inspiration in the music
You know.
therapy program at Children's. It impacted her so much that she recently marked the 4th anniversary of her bone marrow transplant
You know,
with
so-
a visit to Arthur M. Blank Hospital to
Wow,
donate
she's tall.
a specially designed
She's
music
really
therapy
tall.
card.
Holy
Oh wow!
smokes.
Young patients will be able, as a result, to create music,
Yeah, she's
even
really
music
tall.
videos of their own. And Taylor says she can't wait.
Oh,
to
her
witness
dad's
hope
really tall.
and
That's
joy
why.
this will bring. Their music therapy program is so impressive, Buck. I just love
Power
this.
of music.
Yes,
You know, so-
absolutely. Okay, stay
I
close,
don't know.
everybody. We're going to bring you updates on your news, weather, and traffic after this.
The power of Duo's Fox Wednesday. Double Gordon, look at this place. Means double trouble. So gross. First, MasterChef Dynamic Duos. Unexpected fireworks then on Secret Service. Gordon's on a mission to save struggling restaurants.
Ew, that's
This question is closed. All new MasterChef Dynamic Duos, followed by Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service Wednesday on Fox.
Catch hometown weather on Fox 5 News.
We cover the weather of the day live from your favorite spots.
Ryan Robinson, he
On
has some
Fox
new
5
people.
News at 4
Alex
and
Flores,
5.
I've seen him before.
City of Hope. A place where seemingly impossible blood cancers become treatable, curable. With more than
You know,
19,000
plus I'm doing this. There's a guy, my boy Jordan.
and most successful
He's
program
in his
the US,
20s.
making major breakthroughs in treating leukemia
But he kind of,
and rare blood
you
cancers.
know, he's very much a,
Personalizing a treatment plan
you know,
right down to your DNA.
you know, well, you know, his parents taught him well.
Possible, the reality.
You know, I saw him on
Closer to home.
TikTok. He's like, hey man, you know, I have to do this. You know,
For the pro to have
going into another phase of his life.
for every job.
So for him, he's got to ingratiate himself with people.
For
So,
dedicated support at the pro
he
desk.
said, what better way to do it?
And
He was
everywhere
talking
in
to people.
between.
You know, and then to,
And what's in our stores.
you know,
One partner.
start a social media account on TikTok.
All in.
And, just talking to people. You know.
At Precision Garage Door, we're more than just a garage door company. We're a people company. We just happen to work on garage doors. Our mission isn't just about fixing doors. It's about creating moments of relief, trust, and care for every customer we serve.
Nice
We need
tattoo.
your garage doors to be safe and reliable, and we're the ones who make that happen. My name is Derek, and I work at Precision Garage Door, but I work for our customers. Locally owned, nationally trusted. Leaving your garage door to Precision is the right decision.
You know,
give us a call today for a
but I know his I know his parents.
Good morning.
His father, his mother, and his father.
This is Good
They're
Day
both really smart.
at 7 a.m.
She
Father
seen
just
his
got his
shirt and it
doctorate.
had a bunch of stab marks in it, but she
Theology.
said she knew something was wrong.
A man stabbed to death discovered at a gas station near alive as police search for his killer.
More unrest in Los Angeles after immigration enforcement efforts. I'm Doug Luzader in Washington. We'll have more on that and the White House response coming up.
On the run, only to end up on the grounds of one of Georgia's most secure prisons. We have body cam from that takedown.
Good morning to you. It is Tuesday. Welcome to Good Day Atlanta at 7 o'clock. I'm Caitlin Pratt in for Elise Edie.
And I'm Buck Lanford in for Ron Gant this morning. We appreciate you joining us on this Tuesday. How are we doing, KP?
We're doing great. We're doing great. I'm just worried. Are we going to get more rain? Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologist Jonathan Stacy in for Joanne this morning with a first look at your forecast.
Hopefully not, but there is a chance. But we are trending towards drier conditions for the middle of the week. This morning, some of you are waking up to fog, especially across far northeast and northwest Georgia.
I knew that look. That look was,
and
no, it's going to keep raining.
Visibility A-OK. You're just waking up to a thick batch of clouds. Anyone who's dealing with fog right now, it will continue, but it should burn off by 10 o'clock this morning. And we should have a fairly nice day after that of partly cloudy skies. Right now it's overcast over the city with the current temperature at 71 degrees. The dew point running high, setting us up nicely for a temperature growth into the mid-80s today. We'll be around 85 degrees for a high, but you see how the numbers are a tad cooler from Peachtree City to Covington? Because that's the area we're watching for some isolated to widely scattered storms to pop up into the afternoon and evening hours. While the rain chances are going up briefly today, they're about to flatline over the next 24 to 48 hours. We'll talk about that in more detail in just a moment. But first, to check on the roads.
Hey, Jonathan, good morning.
I can't sleep.
Good morning to all of you at home. We do have a crash in Gwinnett County on 85 southbound at Steve Reynolds Boulevard. They have moved this over to the right shoulder now, so those lanes are reopening again. They had it over on that HOV lane, but expect some lingering delays coming in from the Highway. You can take Satellite Boulevard or Buford Highway in the meantime. I'm about spread out.
If I eat garbage, like ramen,
the top end and through Cobb on 75. We got a 16-minute ride from Wayne down
chicken wings, the fried chicken wings they had in public.
Thanks so much, Natalie. Happening now. More troops are heading to California to try and help calm protesters after 4 straight nights of violence in Los Angeles. And those demonstrations sparking others, including in New York, Texas, and right here in Metro Atlanta.
Like I had fierce battle, this one between California's Governor Gavin Newsom and President Trump. Fox's Doug Luzader begins our team coverage from Washington.
We had that.
The California officials say military deployments are inflaming the situation, but the president says this is a matter of law and order, and politically, this is a battle the White House thinks it can win.
I cannot eat that stuff.
There have been some skirmishes overnight. And while police were still ordering protesters off the streets, this all follows days of sometimes violent demonstrations with police and federal agents in the crosshairs. LA City leaders are hoping the worst is behind them, with the mayor blaming this all on White House immigration enforcement.
I can't emphasize enough the level of fear
and terror that is You're saying they're blaming it on White House immigration policy.
They're playing support.
They're protesting
blocking streets, protecting federal assets. More are on the way, though, and a contingent of Marines as well, as the White House escalates its response. California, meantime, is now suing the administration for the deployment.
So Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
And that's not
California Governor Gavin Newsom and border czar Tom Homan to arrest him after threats to go after state officials who block immigration actions.
They're fighting because of immigration policy.
President Trump
said he'd fighting just to be fighting like, hey, let's just fight. Let's just fight for no
That's the strongest issue for President Trump. It's the weakest issue for Democrats. Look, President Trump is salivating politically for this fight.
And the president will be focused on the military today, traveling to Fort Bragg in North Carolina as the Army marks its 250th anniversary. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
And people here in Metro Atlanta plan to stand for a second day in solidarity with demonstrators in Los Angeles. Good Day's Brooks Honor picking up our team coverage now live from the downtown Atlanta Ice Field office. Brooke, there's another demonstration planned later today.
Every 50 or
Right,
so
exactly.
years.
That's going to be happening at Beaufort Highway, but the
this
one
seems
that
to
yesterday happened here at the
It's
ice
crazy
field
because
office
this
here
is
in
the
downtown
second time this has
Atlanta.
happened.
The protesters themselves
I've been
are
alive
very
for both
peaceful, but
instances.
again, they are standing in solidarity with what's going on in California and against these ice raids. A small group of protesters showed up outside the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement field office in downtown Atlanta Monday.
I see a lot of racism.
They are protesting in Atlanta. Holy smokes.
Protesters are calling for an end to ICE raids and the release of a union leader in California. Similar rallies have been planned in cities across the country.
I don't know if I'll make a difference in the end, but I feel like I've got to take the time to do this.
The Trump administration has pledged to enforce immigration laws, deporting millions of people in the country without legal status. President Trump has since deployed the National Guard to California in response to the protests.
You watch the same clips as I did. Cars burning all over the place, people riding, and by the way, we stopped it. We were able to make it much better.
Rallies are expected to continue in cities nationwide.
New York, Chicago,
with
Los
another one here in
Angeles,
Atlanta
Atlanta.
expected Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And again,
Minnesota,
protest
too.
that's happening on Beaufort
They're
Highway
rioting in Minnesota.
It's happening at 6:30. We, of course, are going to be monitoring that and have a crew there and bring you the latest throughout the day. But for now, that is the latest from here in downtown Atlanta. I'm Brooke Zahner for Good Day Atlanta.
All right, Brooke, thank you. Well, new this morning in DeKalb County, a man was killed in an overnight stabbing. This happened on La Vista Road. The victim ended up at a gas station, but police think he was attacked across the street. Good News, Mark Tigner is live in DeKalb County. He joins us now with the latest. Mark, good morning.
What are you talking about? Black.
Yeah, good morning, Buck. You know, we haven't gotten a whole lot of information from police who have cleared out from this gas station, but we did talk with a woman who says it was her coworker who actually discovered the man who had been stabbed.
What are you talking about?
She seen a homeless guy collapsed on the ground.
Courtney Frazier says her coworker found the victim when she went to the Chevron on La Vista to get some snacks. The man was lying near a pump and appeared to have been
You know what I'm
stabbed.
gonna do?
She seen his shirt and it was had a
gonna-
bunch of stab marks in it. But
I'm gonna hide you
she knew something was
so
wrong.
you can say anything you want, but no one will know it.
Her coworker
Only you'll
called
see your comment.
Sadly, the man died at the
So-
scene. DeKalb County Police wouldn't give us any information, but they did tell Frazier that the man was actually stabbed across the street in the North Lake Plaza near the entrance to a State Farm office.
So
They said that he was stabbed and he was
just
trying
sit
to
and
get
talk to
help
himself.
by the gas station and he collapsed and passed away.
Frazier says her coworker recognized the victim as a homeless man who frequents the area.
We see him a lot, you know, walking just in this area, and he be digging in the trash can to find food and stuff like that. So we'll give him extra food if we have it.
Police told her they hope surveillance video from the many nearby businesses will help them catch the killer.
That's not fair.
You know,
for
the crazy
someone to
thing
hurt
is-
someone that's homeless. He has nothing left now. He's lost his life out here in the streets of Atlanta.
he kind of walked into a
Both her
joke.
coworker and police told her
You know,
that there was a woman
since
who
the guy wanted to be
apparently was
racist,
taken in for questioning.
he walked into
The
a
name of
joke.
The man who died is not
Yeah, I
yet
coulda-
released. If we do get an update
I coulda
from
hit him
police
with-
about this investigation,
What?
we'll let you know what they have to say. Reporting live from
If you
DeKalb
argue with
County,
a fool
I'm Tigner for Good Day Atlanta.
All right,
from a
Mark,
distance,
thanks for
no
those
one will know the
developments.
difference.
And happening now, polls are
You know.
open in DeKalb County for the special primary for 2 Public Service Commission seats. But some voters will have to go to different
engaged with
polling
some kind of
locations.
weirdness and
The County Board of
goofiness.
Elections deciding to
Some,
temporarily
you know,
change locations
I'm not
because
gonna-
of construction at 2 different
I'm not gonna
elementary
engage
schools.
it.
So
I'm not gonna lower my
now those
morals and
who will
values.
vote at Tony Elementary will
Because
go
you're a
to Kelly
moron.
Lake Elementary instead.
You know?
Those who go to Henderson Middle
You know.
Elementary to vote will instead cast
Argue with
ballots
an-
at Warren
you argue with an
Technical
idiot?
School.
From a
Polls
distance,
close at
no one can
7
tell
o'clock
who's the
tonight.
idiot.
Early voting
You both look
ends
like idiots.
June 17th.
You know.
It's now 7:09, and time to check in with Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologist Jonathan Stacy. You've got the muggy meter out. Uh-oh.
Oh, the muggy meter. Yeah, but it's about to trend in a direction that we like. It's going to go springish rather than summerish, because we have definitely been enduring the summer steam machine over the past really couple of weeks, but some temporary relief is on the way. Speaking of dew points, they're in the high 60s. The higher
This
that
guy-
number, the closer it is to 70. definitely is at 70 or above. That's fairly impressive out there. You can feel it first thing in the morning when you step outside. We're at 71 degrees, sunshine not allowed so far from Metro Atlanta. In fact, you can see the skyscrapers here. The top ends are covered up by some low-hanging clouds. The suspicion is more of those clouds.
Molars and everything.
At this point, no. Most of us should be dry for the majority of the day. As we get into the afternoon, those storm chances will build, at least for a moment. We'll look for a high today of around 85 degrees. 70s pretty much run the game this morning. And by the time we get into the 9 o'clock hour, we're still hanging on to some of those numbers in the 70s. As sort of sprinkled to the north and to the west of I-85 is possible, but whatever you get is likely during the mid to late morning period going into the early afternoon. By the late afternoon, we'll be focusing on areas to the south and to the east of I-85. It looks like some thunder showers are going to flare up. I don't think they will last long, and I do not think they'll be severe. However, they could catch you by surprise because we're going to get more sunshine as the day goes on. You could be out and about doing your own thing, and next thing you know, from the skies falls a big time shower or thunderstorm. They don't stick around for long. By 6 o'clock, the action is starting to weaken and wane, and we will go into what will be a fairly calm midweek. First thing tomorrow, we'll have temperatures that are about 5 to 7 degrees cooler than they are this morning due to the drop in dew points, which will make the air feel great, and we'll be glad about the dropping of the dew points as we get into the second half of the day. This is why we'll look for a high of 88 degrees tomorrow. That's not going to be a fake 88 degrees, not a 92 or 93 for a heat index. It will actually be a true 88 because of the dropping of the dew points. But the dew points come rearing back, and so do the storm chances for Thursday, Friday, and into the Father's Day holiday weekend. That's a check on the road. Now check on the roads.
This weekend is Father's Day.
That crash in
I'll pay attention to that stuff.
75 northbound at CW Grant Parkway is clear. You may just have some lingering delays coming in from 285. Also, that crash in Gwinnett on 85 southbound at Steve Reynolds is completely out of the way. About 26 minutes from Highway 316 to the perimeter. Along the east wall northbound from I-20 to 85, about 18 minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Natalie. 7:12 on your clock, and a driver is now facing more charges in the death of a South Fulton officer. The harsh words the officer Will had for the lone accused in that deadly crash.
Fox tonight. How many zeros are there? Joel McHale hosts. What dispensary do you work for? The 1% Plus season beer. Then let the games begin. It's the cold-blooded Sears Burrito the Snake. Will I backstab someone? I'm open to that. The 1% Plus season beer, followed by the Sears Burrito the Snake. Tonight on Fox.
All firms. Morgan. Over 600,000 ladder-related accidents happen each year nationwide. You don't want to be next. And they say as folks over 65 seem to have more than our fair share of ladder accidents. That's why you need Leaf Guard. It with undivided responsibilities, meaning they manufacture, install, and guarantee Leaf Guard. Installers are employees of the company. For over 20 years here in Atlanta and North Georgia, I've been helping homeowners keep their gutters clean. And according to quality Leaf Guard customers are twice as happy, and you're going to be happy with the savings. Call now for the $99 install sale. $99 installation on a complete Leaf Guard system. No monthly interest for 18 months until paid in full, or receive a $250 Visa gift card for purchase. Call during this program and get a free $50 Darden restaurant gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call us here in Atlanta, 1-800-361-0919. Phone number again, 1-800-361-0919.
When is the right time to screen for type 1 diabetes? For me, it was when I learned I could be at risk because my sister has it.
Realizing the damage from type 1 diabetes can already be happening without us even knowing. But learning Tzield could be an option if we caught it at the right time, that was our biggest one.
Tzield is prescription medicine used to delay the onset of insulin-dependent type 1 diabetes, but does not stop the disease entirely. Tzield is for people 8 years and older with stage 2 type 1 diabetes. My doctor and I decided to start by getting screened. Tzield may cause serious side effects, including cytokine release syndrome and a decrease in your white blood cells, which can affect your body's ability immunity to fight infections. Tell your doctor right now if you develop fever, nausea, tiredness, headache, rash, or muscle and joint pain, or are planning any vaccines, as T-Sealed may affect how well they work. Your doctor will do blood tests to check your liver and complete blood counts before and during treatment. If you're at risk, take the first step. Ask your doctor about autoantibody screening for type 1 diabetes and seize your win.
I'm Alma Bernstein from Tucker, and I'm a Good Day Atlanta fan. I've always enjoyed the personalities. It was always fun.
The driver accused of killing a South Fulton police officer is now facing more charges. Santoria McLean was in a Fulton County courtroom yesterday. She now faces 8 charges in the death of Captain Elio Garcia, including homicide by vehicle and reckless driving. Investigators say that McLean was driving 98 miles per hour when she crossed the center line, hitting Captain Garcia's cruiser head-on in April. Captain Garcia's wife was there in court.
He was doing his job, and someone just decided to be selfish, and this is what happens.
She's sitting there smiling in court. Is she stupid?
With someone that was
I don't get the whole painted on eyebrows.
careless, did not care about anyone's life.
McLean is in the Fulton County Jail without bond. Later tonight, there's a special tribute in Captain Garcia's honor.
Ridiculous homicide.
We'll have that story coming up later this hour.
She gonna get a butthole
over who should pay to keep students and staff safe in the district that was the scene of the most deadly school shooting in the history of Georgia.
Last night, parents in Barrow County voiced
had another
community
35.
rally demanding transparency, they say, on how the Board of Commissioners plans to roll out long-term solutions. The board plans to fund, they say, 12 of the 25 school resource officers starting July 1st. That's 3 weeks from today. Now, previously, the board and county had agreed to split the cost 50-50. So this means the school board will have to pick up the tab for an additional $800,000. The County Board of Education recently approved 8 new school resource officers in response to last September's deadly mass shooting at Apalachee High School. A man is facing charges after police in Kennesaw said he terrified a couple, all because they were apparently driving too slow. Giancarlo Russo on aggravated assault and simple assault charges. Officers say Russo was behind another couple who had just pulled into the Legacy Park subdivision Friday night. He told police he was angry because they were going 25 in a 35-mile-per-hour zone. That's when things, they say, turn violent.
They came to a stop sign, the car pulled up next to him and started yelling at him, and then eventually pulled in front of him and blocked him. He got out of the car and he was holding a knife.
The couple managed to get the
Kennesaw
license plate
is
of the
a
driver,
nice
which
city.
then led police to Russo. Police say if you're ever in a road rage situation,
Oh, it's road rage.
roll
That's
your
why.
windows up, lock your doors.
Yep, that's right around the corner from KSU.
7:17 is now your time, and we're going to check in with Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologist Jonathan Stacy with a look at today's forecast.
7:17 is the time, and
It's like
71
right around the
degrees
corner
is
from
the
where my
current
daughter goes to
temperature
college.
outside. So we seem to be stuck at 71 degrees. We've been there the past couple of hours, and the temperature doesn't move much, especially during this time of the day. Without sunshine, we have dew points in the high 60s. Overcast skies for much of the area. If you're up to the north and to the west, you're looking up to at least some sunshine. 71 in the city, outside of town, Stonecrest at 71 degrees, and Conyers 68. As you make your way up 400, 69 degrees there in Greenville, 70 degrees in Jackson, 71 to Monticello, and for those of you at Madison, 68 in Carrollton, 67 is over. We'll show those 60s and 70s to make our way into the 80s throughout the afternoon. By 4 o'clock, that's when you have your best chance for a shot of thunder and maybe a shot of rain. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, folks, but for those of you on the south and the east of I-85, that's where your chances are highest. If you're to the north and to the west, you have a chance, but it's between 10 and 20%. You may get something this morning, but it's a quick passing shower. As for today's high here in the city, 85 degrees. We'll look for some low to mid 80s down south, and the same can be said on the north side, but actually to the north and to the west, I think the temperatures are going to kind of match those of the metro area, because once again, you're getting in on more sunshine during the first part of the day. A cold front finally completes its passage through the area as we go to bed tonight. The dew points will drop, therefore our overnight temperature, that low temperature that you'll wake up to on Wednesday morning, it will drop. We'll be about 5 to 7 degrees cooler this time tomorrow morning than we are today. We're at 65 degrees here in Atlanta, 65 on a Wednesday morning there in Stonecrest. Go down south and you're at 63 degrees in Griffin. Let's look up north. There are going to be some 50s, some mid-50s on the board. Even up there in Blissville, you'll drop down to about 54 degrees. And so it will be a noticeable change by morning, but by afternoon, the heat is going to build. It's going to stay low though, so it's going to be a true 88 degrees. It's going to be a warm afternoon because you're going to have plenty of sunshine all over the area, and I think across you'll have a day without rain. Rains come back Thursday, Friday, into Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures hold steady at dew points there. That is a day. Now check on this.
Jonathan, we are having a pothole along the top end eastbound right before Roswell.
My legs burn.
Blocking at least one lane. Seeing delays coming in from Cobb Parkway, you would take the downtown connector. That'll be your best alternative for now. The West Lawn I-20 to 75, 10 minutes, and out of Bartow on 75 southbound, 25 minutes from Highway 20 to Wade Green. Buck?
Thank you, Natalie. 7:20 is now your time coming up on Good Man. The Braves went on the road against the Brewers trying to snap a 7-game losing streak. Would it be the same old song and dance, or would the Braves finally break through? On the highlights, I'll let you know coming up next. Here it is, your chance to win $500 gift cards from our Good Day giveaway. The word is Blueberry. Winner once per day by visiting contest, or you can scan the QR code. One winner will be selected this Friday. Again, today's category is Blueberry.
Here at Leafguard, the magic happens on the inside. Our patented hangers are attached above the water line, so nothing restricts the water flow. We guarantee it's not coming down. Call now for the $99 install sale, $99 installation on a complete Leafguard system. No monthly interest for 18 months until paid in full, or receive a $250 Visa gift card purchase. Call during this program for a $50 Darden restaurant gift card, whatever.
There's a reason firefighters always win water fights. Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big. Stupid dummies. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Change.
Add a little more weight.
It's part of life.
Gotta see how much she's weighed.
Here at Xfinity, we want to do our part to keep one thing the same, with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. So no matter how your other costs change, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi, with our best equipment included, for a price that stays exactly the same.
This weekend, call the experts at Zerorez and get insanely clean carpets at these unbeatable savings. Zerorez comes with zero water. It's not perfect, it doesn't leave a sticky residue behind, but these Zerorez savings are good this week only. So watch these prices before they're gone. Blake's got a birthday milkshake from Zaxby's on his birthday. What more could a kid ask for?
Motorcycle. My own record label. Seriously?
Shoot your shot, kid. Zaxby's handcrafted milkshakes. Who's got the sauce?
All he wants to do is make people smile. Maybe this guy will. Well, either they will give it. Wait a second, Smiley. Somebody needs you. When it comes to cooling and heating, plumbing, and electrical, we guarantee he'll leave you with a big smile. R.S. Andrews.
Well, the Braves' losing streak is now a thing of the past. By beating the Brewers last night, they avoided their first 8-game losing streak since way back in 2016. Reigning National League Cy Young Award winner Chris Sale, she gave the Braves everything they could possibly want on the mound. A strikeout here in the second. He went 7 innings, gave up only 1 run, had 11 strikeouts. Braves down run in the 5th. Not anymore. Ronald Acuña Jr. crushes that one. That's his 5th home run of the year.
5th home run of the year?
All tied up. Same inning. Runner on. Then it's Matt Olson getting into the action. He hits one deep to center. That one is gone, and the Braves take a 3-1 lead. They would never trade.
Yes, sir, Braves.
How about something rare this season, it seems? A little insurance. Eli White, that's a two-run bomb.
Yes, sir, Braves.
A breathing room that they wouldn't even need because they win this one going away 7-1.
Yes, sir.
Feel good when you win, but
let's go Braves.
You know where we were, and it's just good to have a kind of a complete game.
I feel like we still have a couple out there early on. Like to cash in a couple of those guys, but the ability to stick with it, stay on the guy, able to get into the bullpen and do a little damage off of it.
Same two teams go at it tonight. So whenever you watch a game, do you ever think about the time or what it takes to install the playing surface? Well, probably not. But at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, it truly is an art with a lot of pre-planning. Fox 5 Sports' Miles Garrett spent some time at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium inquiring about how it literally goes down.
Enter Sandman to down in the sand.
Miles Garrett, I remember him.
A little bit of a makeover after a Metallica rock concert just a few days ago, as we are just 1 week
Bonjour.
now from the FIFA Club World Cup, where the best in the world are descending upon the ATL, getting used to playing on a playing surface that they're a little bit more acquainted to.
Our specific is a aluminum
Bonjour.
event decking that we put down first, and that was at the request of FIFA. And then we brought in 3 inches of sand, which they determined was the adequate amount of sand that they'd like to see here, and then a specific grass that was grown for this tournament and selected by FIFA. We brought that in as well.
Now, the obvious question that does come with grass is, where does the light come from? Don't worry, there's an answer for that.
The challenge is the light situation in the stadium, so we need the grass species that are going to survive in this environment. It's a completely unique microenvironment, so the research that's been carried out by FIFA ensures that the grass species they'll be comfortable and happy in this environment.
So it's wild, it's actual grass.
Of course, there is that big tournament coming
That was
to
fake.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium next year as well.
Actual grass.
It's a trial run.
There's some familiarity for next year. We'll learn a lot of things this year, but it'll be a little bit of a different situation next year. We won't do an overlay next year. We'll actually do a more substantial installation next year, where we'll actually remove the artificial surface. We'll remove the pad beneath it. We'll remove the asphalt, go down about 7-8 inches, and bring in a root zone material.
Now, among the best in the world that are coming to the ATL, that includes Chelsea FC, Manchester City, and even some of the best in the MLS, a team that Atlanta United has played in the past, and Miami, a team that boasts one of, if not the best player of all time, that being Lionel Messi. Here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Miles Garrett, Fox 5 Sports.
Now your time coming up on Good Day Atlanta. A gas station.
Ooh, my calves are burning.
Discovery in the middle of the night.
All right, y'all keep reporting on the same stuff.
Gas pumps were live as police work to find out. And it's probably the worst place someone on the run would want to go. How police took down a suspect on the grounds of a maximum security prison.
John Wayne.
Your old retainer.
Nope.
The Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
I'd rather watch that.
Painting and travel with Roger
Poor
and
set.
Sarah Bansimer. Experience and capture the beauty of the world around you. Next on Create.
Fourth set.
I'm Alessandra Poli, and I'm going to show you the real Italy. Just like the Create channel,
Dennis.
Italy is full of passion,
6,
art,
7,
food, music and culture. Learn how artisans pass down the heritage of Italy from generation to generation. Join me and watch Passion Italy
2,
right here on Create.
4.
Join Colleen Kelly as she explores some of the best family-friendly beach towns.
3.
I am Colleen Kelly. Welcome to the
Ah.
Island.
Welcome to
Oof.
Pacific Beach. I am here living my best life in Greater Fort Lauderdale.
Ooh, my calves.
I'm Kelly Kelly, and this is Family Travel. Destinations your family will love and create.
Public media is facing serious
What's
challenges.
that?
Efforts to eliminate previously approved federal funding could disrupt everything you rely on. For just $1.60 per person each year, federal funding ensures GPB can deliver community-based services, from life-saving emergency alerts to local programming and proven educational resources for families. But if that funding vanishes, so could your access to these essential services. Stakes have never been higher. Visit protectmedia.org and tell Congress to protect GPB now.
You're watching GPB Create.
Today, Sarah and I are in South Haven, Michigan. Right behind me here is Lake Michigan. It's hard to believe that's all fresh water had grown up around the ocean. Down in Florida for so many years. Right behind me is a lighthouse. This particular lighthouse was built in 1903. Used to guide merchant ships between Milwaukee and Chicago. It also helped to guide ships from the Black River here into the town. I had hoped to do a painting here today, but the
Might get on elliptical. Why not?
really start to deteriorate. It's cold, it's windy, and I think if I set up my easel here on the beach, it probably would get blown over. So what I'm going to do is walk around the lighthouse, talk a little bit about the composition, and take my digital camera, get some photographs, and try and get as much information as I can right now so I can paint this back in the studio. Composition is sort of a strange thing because it's totally different than seeing with our own human eyes in real life. Because when we look at a lighthouse or a scene like this, we look at the lighthouse, we look at the tree, and we take a lot of different snapshots, and the human mind is good at taking a lot of little images quickly as we move our eyes around, and it puts all those together in a pleasing way. But if I were to take this into a painting, it would be a totally different situation. You would have no center of interest, or actually you'd have two centers of interest. You'd have the lighthouse and you'd have the tree. That would become a little bit disturbing. A painting, the eye needs to be led around.
Oh, I like this. This
show
is a
the viewer
workout.
actually where to go. When I'm looking at this in real life, I don't need that. I can look at a snapshot of the lighthouse, the pier, the tree.
It's like
and
running.
Put those all together. That's not so with a painting.
Running with a
we have to
40-pound pack on.
Because we look at it as a whole. We look at it as one whole piece. Well, compositionally, this is a little bit better. And the reason is the subjects are a little bit closer together. The lighthouse is a little bit closer to the tree, but it's still too far apart. Another strange thing about composition is the center of interest is not always dictated by the size of the object. The lighthouse in the background can be very small, and the tree in the foreground can be very large. And since the lighthouse is what we consider as a human interest, it's what captures our imagination.
I like this.
That's what becomes the center of interest. So the center of interest is not necessarily dictated by the size of the object. Well, this, at least to my eye, is a much better composition. And the reason is that those two objects that fought with each other before, I didn't know whether to put my eye here at the tree or the lighthouse. Now those have become sort of one group. Even though they're two objects, they're sort of attached to each other visually. And even though the lighthouse is much smaller, it still remains the center of interest. Over there, the perspective of those catwalk posts were compressed quite a bit. Over here, we can see them a little bit better. Now, the question is how to accurately draw one post and the next post and the next post and keep them in an accurate perspective. And there's a simple formula for doing that.
I like this. It's a workout.
First of all, I need to find the horizon. It just so happens that the bottom line is exactly on the same plane as the bottom of the concrete pier. If I were to climb a few steps on the ladder, we'd see the water and the actual horizon, but the wall is right on the same plane. I'll draw a line running down the top of the walkway, and I already have a line at the bottom. These two lines will always come to a point on the horizon. In this case, the vanishing point is far to the left and out of the picture plane, way out here. Then I'll establish two vertical lines where the posts from the boardwalk come up from the concrete. The first two posts always have to be established first in order to determine the correct placement for the third post. Next, I want to find the halfway point on the sides of this rectangle. I'll use a ruler to measure halfway up each post, and I'll mark it here in green. I'll show you why this is important in a minute. Now I'll run a straight line through those center points. This line, too, will hit the same vanishing point on the horizon as did the top line.
I got a new workout.
The next step is to draw a line from the top
I got a new workout.
through the green dot.
That's good to know.
As you can see, the orange line falls exactly where the next pole should be. I keep dissecting it, and each time I do this, it falls exactly where the next pole starts.
Nope. Right there.
Well, as you can see, it's really too
That's a
windy
good
here
workout.
to set up. And so I'm going to take my digital camera, take a number of photographs, especially over here where I think the composition is best.
You got an old school digital camera. Why did I turn to this?
In the meantime, I know Sarah's in the
repertoire. The airy, for me, with the Western music ear, this sounded very avant-garde or very new to me. Not
right, well,
necessarily traditional Japanese.
I'm mad at this piece.
It sounded wild. So I was very